Have you ever been at a point where one choice could change your whole life? This is the story of Charles, a young man with big dreams, but also with friends who almost dragged him into serious trouble. What happened to him will show you how dangerous peer pressure can be, and why sometimes, walking away is the best decision you can ever make. The sun rose over the quiet village of Odani. People began their daily chores. Children ran along the narrow streets, chasing each other, while vendors set up their stalls, arranging fruits, vegetables, and small goods. Among them walked Charles, a 20-year-old with bright eyes and a quiet spirit. He moved carefully, carrying a few worn books under his arm. Life in the village was simple, but it wasn't easy. Charles lived with his widowed mother, Mrs. Ifeona, in a small one-room hut. Despite their struggles, Charles carried a dream in his heart, a dream to one day become an engineer. Mrs. Ifeona often reminded him, "Charles, my son, you are my hope. No matter what happens, remember, bad friends can destroy a good future." Charles always nodded. He loved his mother deeply. Her words were like a soft light guiding him through the challenges of life. But sometimes, he felt the weight of his poverty. He looked at his friends, Jason, Simon, and Brian. They seemed so different. Flashy sneakers, the latest phones, always having money to spend. And Charles, he had books, determination, and dreams that seemed far away from the life they lived. One evening, Jason called out to him as he walked past the market. "Charles, my guy, why are you always at home with books? Come out, let's enjoy life. You're wasting your youth." Charles shook his head. "I need to study. My exams are close." Simon laughed loudly. "Exams won't put money in your pocket. Look at us, do we look hungry? You're killing yourself for nothing." Brian added with a grin, "Come on, Charles. Don't be so serious all the time. Life is short." Their words struck him. A part of him wanted to believe them. It felt easier to go along, to forget about hard work, to enjoy the moment. A few days later, Brian invited Charles to hang out at the village game center. Charles thought to himself, it's just fun, nothing more. He joined them. Laughter filled the small room, the sounds of coins dropping and games buzzing. Hours passed faster than he expected. When he got home late, Mrs. Ifeona was waiting at the doorway, her face full of worry. "Charles, where have you been?" "I was worried," she asked softly. He avoided her eyes. "Just with friends, Mom." She touched his shoulder gently. "My son, the friends you keep will either build you or break you." Charles said nothing, but inside, he felt torn. Weeks passed. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the mud paths gold, Jason whispered to him, "We're going for a small run tonight. Easy money. Nobody will know. Charles, join us." Charles frowned. "What kind of run?" Simon grinned, excitement in his eyes. "Just collecting from a shop. The man is rich. We'll take a few things and disappear. No stress." Charles's heart pounded. He thought of his mother's face, of her gentle hands and worried eyes. He thought of their shiny phones and sneakers too, a tempting vision of what life could seem like with money in hand. But his dream of becoming an engineer, the life he wanted to build, flashed before him. And suddenly, the easy money seemed like a trap. Finally, he shook his head. "No, I can't do it." They laughed at him. "Coward!" Brian sneered. "You'll be poor forever." That night, Charles lay awake on his simple wooden bed. He stared at the ceiling, imagining himself being dragged by the police, his mother crying, his dreams gone. The thought scared him more than poverty ever could. A week later, the news spread across the village. Jason, Simon, and Brian had been caught stealing. Charles went to the small square where people had gathered. The three friends were being led away by the police, their faces bruised and eyes red. The crowd murmured in shock and pity. Charles's heart was heavy. That could have been me, he thought. Mrs. Ifeona placed her hand on his shoulder. "You see, my son? When you stand for what is right, God stands for you. Charles's eyes filled with tears. Mom, I almost followed them. But I remembered you. She hugged him tightly. My son, your future is more precious than quick money. Don't ever forget that. From that day, Charles stayed away from bad company. It wasn't easy. Sometimes, he felt lonely. Sometimes, the temptation of easy money still lingered in his mind. But he kept his eyes on his dream, his determination stronger than before. Slowly, his hard work paid off. He gained a scholarship to study engineering at the university. On the night before he left the village, he knelt beside his mother. Mom, thank you for guiding me. I could have lost my way. She held him close. Charles, never forget, true friends don't lead you into trouble. Stand for what is right, even if it means standing alone. Lesson: peer pressure may look harmless, but one wrong choice can destroy your future. True strength is not in following the crowd, it is in walking away when you know something is wrong. And that is how Charles's story became a lesson in Oak Ridge, that the choices you make can decide the rest of your life.